typical day for a child is completely ungrounded. Most children wake up sleeping on a bed that was not grounded in a house or a building or on a floor that was insulated from the earth. And then
はい、こんにちは。ヒーリングサロンユーフォリアのゆうすけです。アーシングっていうですね、健康法があるんですよ。これ何かというとですね、本当の一番の、基本は、裸足になってですね、外の、芝生とか土とかですね、そういうところで、地面に立つと。そうするとですね、地球が持っている、その、負の電荷みたいなのですね、がですね、この体の炎症とかにですね、実は炎症レベル下げたりするのにいいっていうのが分かってきたんですよ。では、難しく言っちゃったんですけどね、誰でも経験あると思いますよ。公園とかね、川とかで裸足で地面歩いた経験誰でもありますよね。それなんかちょっと気持ちいいと。で、あとはキャンプとか行ってですね、キャンプ場で、ちょっと裸足でね、芝生の上、こう、キャンプ場でちょっと寝たり、椅子に座ってね、足だけこう地面についたりして、で、それでですね、寝て起きるとすごいなんか疲れが取れてるような気がするとかね、そういう経験あると思うんですけど、実はそれをですね、健康法としてこう活用すると。で、それもですね、なんとなくそうやって気持ちがいい気がするっていうことじゃなくてですね、これアーシングっていう本なんですけど、こんな分厚い本なんですけど、これ見るとわかるんですけど、アーシングすることによってですね、血流が上がったりとか、あとはですね、ドロドロの血液が、サラサラになったりとか、そういうのが実験で分かってて、もういくつもの、もう無数のって言ってもいいくらいです。言い過ぎました。多数のですね、科学的根拠がある健康法になってるんですよ。でね、僕問題だと思うのは、結構アメリカですね。アメリカでは結構広がってるんですけど、日本ではまだ、なんならオカルト扱いみたいな部分がありましてですね、これが広まっていくといいんじゃないかと。でですね、僕も今ですね、こうやって話している時も、これアーシングマットっていうのが、これマットちょっと汚くてすみませんね。この、ね、マットを、こういうふうにですね、これ金属繊維が織り込まれた布なんですよ。それにですね、こう線がついてまして、これがアース線ってあるじゃないですか、どの家庭にも。エアコンの近くとかね、トイレの近く、トイレにも大体ありますよね。それですね、アース線に挿したのをこう電気的にこう接続するとですね、家の中でもアーシングできる。こういうのも出てます。それでですね、今回本題なんですけど、これ映画があるんですよ。映画があって、YouTube ではですね、探すと日本語字幕もつけてる人いたんですけど、今回ですね、その中から一部、発達障害の子供の問題行動がアーシングで減るんですよ。それの部分をですね、ちょっと翻訳、ね、部分的に僕がですね、翻訳したのをちょっとね、この後5分くらいちょっと、見てもらおうと思います。これ本当、すごいですよ。で、実は僕もですね、ずっと、ちっちゃい頃から発達障害あってですね、それをちょっと克服したみたいな人間なんですけど、すごい、効果ありますね。アーシングやって。すごいですね。特に寝てる間はですね、このマットの上でずっと寝てるんですけど、かなり起きた時のこう爽快感とですね、元からある発達障害のそういう傾向、悪い部分の傾向みたいなのがすごく、これのおかげで減ってきたなっていうふうに感じます。そんな感じなんですね。じゃあ、僕がね、翻訳した部分ちょっと流します。
I didn't know anything about grounding. I had never heard of it at all, but I became a new mom. And I had my first child, and she had colic, and she cried and cried and cried. First thing I did, being a physician myself, was take her to the pediatrician and remember distinctly leaving that pediatrician's office with a knot in my stomach because the first thing they told me is, it's a baby, let him cry. Literally, the only time I noticed that she wasn't in pain and the only time I could soothe her was when I was outside and I was barefoot and I had her in my arms. And every time we were outside, she relaxed. I noticed if I did use a stroller or if she was in a car, she was still in pain and uncomfortable. This is not placebo effect. Like, she had no idea if I was wearing shoes or not. She doesn't know that. I'm holding her either way. And I just slowly started realizing this child can only take a nap and feel comfort is if she was on my skin, held skin to skin, and I was barefoot. And I didn't know what it was called, and I didn't at that time feel comfortable thinking about using it in my conventional medical practice, but I just knew that this is what I'm gonna do to help my child. Through doing a search about grounding, I found Clint Ober's work and the book about earthing, and I realized that it's a real thing and a real healing modality with tons of medical literature behind it. The light switch went on, and I thought, we're doing things completely backwards here. A typical day for a child is completely ungrounded. Most children wake up sleeping on a bed that was not grounded in a house or a building or on a floor that was insulated from the earth. And then they go immediately into a classroom that's insulated. And even on recess, in their recess period, they go outside and are literally fenced in and are paved with asphalt. And then they have after-school activities, which are either indoors or if they're outdoors, they are literally required to wear protective gear. And even if they're exercising for 2 hours after school, 100% disconnected from the earth. And then they go.
The district that I am in already actually has, with Clinton, a school that has a grounding classroom. One of the reasons that the other teacher pushed so hard to get this room, she had a group of students that had significant behavior issues. And they would rip their shoes off and go running out of the room, and they would all over campus looking for them. They would always find them in the planters by the trees.
But I had one teacher tell me in a special ed class that they had runners. And what a runner is a kid who just runs out of the classroom and they take off and everybody has to go find where this student is. I realized that these kids who are the runners, they're running out to the far back corner of the school campus, and it's the only place that has grass, and they're sitting down on the grass.
And so I went back and I talked to my special education director, and I said, can we try this? Can we try this with some of our students with autism? I brought it into my room, and I have a student with autism, very severe autism. He's completely nonverbal. And, you know, it's a good day when I can get this child to sit for 10 seconds. I pulled my mat out, I cleaned it off, and I took his socks and shoes off, put his little feet on it. That boy sat for 7 minutes straight and played with me. He sat for 7 minutes straight.
I've heard stories from teachers in classes where their students are grounded that they have half the level of referrals for discipline. Some students who were in tears because they were experiencing success when before they were experiencing failure with their behavior and discipline. I've heard stories from teachers with autistic children who have been grounded, where they have less of what they call the meltdowns. And the meltdowns are less frequent and shorter, and they come back into the classroom and they're learning more than they had learned prior to the grounding.